just really appreciate you all being with us tonight and taking the time out of your schedule to enjoy the 2021 awards program. Now, normally we have this program over a luncheon at the Kissimmee Embassy Suites, and I do want to let you know that we will be returning to that very soon. We will be meeting there October of 2022, so I'm thrilled. The way tonight is going to go, we are going to hear from our Extension Interim Dean, Dr. Tom Obriza, who you see joining us from his backyard. So we're so thrilled to have him. Then we will go into the Awards of Excellence. We will go to our Legacy Grant Award winners. And then we will have our Service Awards, and then we will have our memorial slides. So that's a little bit about how the evening is going to go tonight. And I hope you have a beverage. I have my coffee. Dr. Obriza has his tea, and we are ready to get going. So I wanted to say that I know a little bit about you. I watch you all from time to time. I see that you load your luxury vehicles up with mulch and other gardening supplies. Most of the time it's bagged, but sometimes you just go for it and fill up your whole car with mulch. I think the bag version is better, but the person who did this suggested that she could just pull the whole tarp out and she didn't have to unload any bags. And I know that you stuff your car so full of plants that you cannot put any more in. I want to remind you all that this is dangerous if you cannot see out your back window, but we can never have enough plants. And this person is not a master gardener, but I have seen you all with the look in your eye, just like he has, me stalking a plant in public that I want a clipping of. And I am just as guilty of snipping clippings in public. So one of the things that I think that we are in the Master Gardeners we're kind of a support group for plant junkies. And I love this slide here. All I need is this plant and that other plant and those plants over there and more.
And it's not hoarding if it's plants.
It's not hoarding if it's plants. Thank you, Dr. Obriza. And I know that when we go to the garden center, first of all, when we go to the home improvement store, we never go in the front door. We always go through the garden center, and we're aggravated if the gates are closed just because it's a little dark. And the other thing about that happens to master gardeners and garden centers is that you'll just be standing there looking at plants, and it's like you have a neon light over your head pointing to you that says Master Gardener, because people sidle up next to you and say, hey, will this grow here? Or is this a good plant for us? And you're like, I don't have my name tag on. I don't have my hat on. How do they even know? But they know because you're confident and you are knowledgeable in your subject matter. And then what do we end up with? We end up with lots of plants that need to be planted. So I know that many of you have at least probably 10, 12 plants that need to be put in the ground by now. So there is still time. And I love this picture because I know this lady, and you can see she's got her jewelry on. She's kind of got her clothes on. She really wasn't planning on weeding all day, but as it turned out, she got her big weed bucket and started pulling those weeds. And she's a real Floridian gardener, you can tell, because she's gardening in her flip-flops. And one of the reasons why we garden in our flip-flops is because we know that that's when it's easier to ward off fire ants if you're in your flip-flops, because you can just kick out of those shoes and go run for the hose. But if you're in your sneakers or boots, it's a little bit harder. So this is a fun picture. And another thing I know about you all is that you love plants and that you love to share plants. But more than just sharing plants, you love to share your knowledge of plants. And that's really when we take the information that we get in the Master Gardener class and we turn it into usable knowledge, where we share the most up-to-date, research-based, unbiased information that we can from the University of Florida with our clientele. And that's really what it's about, being a Master Gardener and making an impact in other people's lives. So over that makes me kind of come up with this quote: what we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others in the world remains and is immortal. So I wanted to share with you our annual report that we had in 2020. 2020, as you know, was an interesting year, and I think Dr. Obriza is going to share that with you in his comments coming up. But our volunteer number remained the same at around 4,500, so that was good. We trained actually more new volunteers in 2020 than we did in 2019. In 2019, we trained 650. In 2020, we trained 657. Our volunteer contacts were about half of what they normally are, or actually less than half of what they normally are, at 189,000. And our volunteer hours, again, were less than half because of the COVID stay-at-home orders at 156,000. But one of the things that was a big plus from 2020 is that our educational hours were the same or even greater at over 60,000 educational hours. So even though we weren't meeting with the public, we certainly were getting our digital and online learning taken care of with that. So you all, these are numbers to be proud of for our program, and I'm just so thankful for you and all that you do for us. So now I'd like to welcome Dr. Tom Obriza, our UF-IFAS Interim Dean of Extension. And these are the last days when he is going to be hearing that title, and I have a feeling he is excited about that. Dr. Obriza is a soil scientist and a wonderful administrator for us at UF-IFAS. He provides excellent leadership over the extension programs and helps to run all of the extension offices across Florida. But Dr. Obriza, we welcome you, and we are honored to have you for the Master Gardener Service Awards and Words of Excellence program tonight.
Gee, Wendy, thank you for that introduction and invitation. And group, I threatened Wendy, since she's starting this at 5:30, that I was going to do it from my backyard. And so I actually followed through on that, and that's where I am right now. And a few moments ago, my Labradoodle was right on cue in the over my left shoulder, so I was hoping you'd get to see him. But behind that is my little postage stamp garden that I do every year. I do love to garden. I've gardened since I was a kid, and you know, I know how much time it takes and how hard it is to do it right. And so I'm just not able to do something bigger. But when I get to that retirement stage someday, I'm going to have a much bigger garden, and I'm going to be, you know, more broader in that kind of respect. But anyway, really, that's where I got my interest in soils, was from gardening. You know, I learned it from my grandmother, and I've told this story before to Master Gardeners, but that's kind of how I ended up with a soil background, is just kind of starting from the gardening. And again, I respect very much what you all do for the program for the state of Florida, and the education that you bring to clientele we have out there, because, you know, if we didn't have our Master Gardener volunteer program, our you know, our home horticulture program would be pretty small, you know. And it's really the Master Gardeners and the agents in that realm that make it all work. And so, you know, beyond thanking the Master Gardeners for what you all do, I want to thank our Master Gardener coordinators, our agents in every county that have the programs. They are awesome. And the program over the whole state, of course, is led by Wendy Wilbur for a good number of years now. And Wendy's so good at what she does, and we love Wendy in that position. So back in March 2020, I was sitting in this chair in the mornings, because that was when we were all told to go home and don't come to work because of this COVID thing. And so our dean at the time, Nick Place, decided we would have morning Zoom meetings of the admin team. And it was such nice weather back in March of 2020. I would be out here doing that too, you know, doing the Zooms. But, you know, you think about where we come from that time, you know, just the total uncertainty of what was going on, and, you know, people not really knowing the severity, or, you know, how big of an issue this was going to be. But, you know, we were told not to you know, to pretty much shelter in place, you know. And that really did have an effect, you know, on our programs and our people, you know, trying to figure out what to do next. And, you know, the university decided to pivot to online education because, that was really where we had to go. And our extension agent faculty were right there, along with the teaching faculty in converting a lot of our programs from the face-to-face to online things. And that's worked out very well. We've learned a lot of things about how to do online education. And now that we're, kind of coming out of the pandemic and able to get back to more normal things, we haven't lost that knowledge that we've gained about, how programs are going to go forward. So I anticipate across all program areas that, our educational activities going forward will be face-to-face and in the virtual world, kind of a hybrid situation. And so that brings in broader audiences, and it takes borders out. There's this term kind of across the extension system now, extension without borders. We've learned that that borders don't really matter, when you can do virtual education. And so we're going to take advantage of that going forward. We do have a new dean coming in 13 days on November 1st, something that I'm very much looking forward to. His name is Dr. Andre Johnson. He's currently at Penn State University in their extension administration. He's originally from Louisiana, grew up on a farm in Louisiana. That was a big part of why Scott Engel chose him, because of his farm background and he's an urban forester, by training. But we're real excited to have him come on board. Last time we brought in a new dean, it was 2012, and that was Nick Place. And Nick knew us, because Nick had been with UF before. And so, his break-in period was very short. But Dr. Johnson's going to have a little bit longer learning curve, kind of a drinking from the fire hose. But I do know he wants to get out in the state a lot. He's going to do a lot of visiting of county offices. So I hope he gets to see some of you and meet some of you and learn what your programs are all about. And as he traverses the state, I think Dr. Engel will be carrying him around to places, but he'll be going places on his own too. And so I just want to thank all of you for working through COVID. We had some wonky rules at times about what you can and can't do. And, I understood the frustration that some people, had gone through as far as that goes. But, we were just trying to keep everybody safe and trying to follow the university guidelines about, risk management and those kind of things. But, this last Delta variant spike is way down now. Our medical people say they don't see another variant on the horizon. So, as this dies down, I think, we'll be in pretty good shape. I think, the virus is always going to be with us at some low level, but I think things will be back to normal, or what we're used to normal, very soon. With all the new things that we learned about, how we can teach, during times of COVID. So we're coming out stronger than we went in. And so I think that's a good omen going forward. So again, Wendy, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
And I will spin it back to you for the awards and all the other festivities.
Great. Good. Thank you so much, Dr. Briza. And it's just, I'm reminded of the quote that we're like tea bags. We don't know how strong we are until we're put in hot water. And I just want to thank you for your leadership as we have gone through the last couple of years. We really appreciate all you've done for us. So thank you. All right, we are going to get moving on. One of the chats said that we needed to turn up the beat and get going. So but he used the words turnip and beat because we have lots of funny Master Gardener jokes. So we're going to jump right into the awards of excellence. Barbara Edmonds wishes all the nominees best of luck, and I do as well. The awards of excellence are given every other year, and it's for a time period of the last 2 years. So it's the last 2 years since 2019 at this time. And our first award of excellence is the Beautification Award. This award recognizes the master gardeners who have made the effort to beautify and enhance their community through plantings. It's based on the creation of new plantings or modified existing plantings, which can be either interior or exterior. The beautification project should put the right plant in the right place and model UF-IFAS recommendations for water, fertilizing, and maintenance. And our winner this year is Pinellas County for their Folly Farm Nature Preserve, which is in the city of Safety Harbor. It's a preservation of green space. They've been working on this since 2019. 9 master gardeners initiated 4 new plantings and 1 replanting. And they have signage, gnome houses, wind sculptures, and a wind phone for departed friends. So it's a kind of a very innovative project. This is their plaque that will be sent to them and put in their office. And really, you can see from the photos here, the butterfly labyrinth on the left, just beginning, and then there it is with all the flowers and filled with students. And then you can see just sort of a blank slate in the wind garden, and then the wind garden filled with lots of native plants. So congratulations to Pinellas County and the beautiful Folly Farm Garden.
Nice job, Pinellas.
Our next award is the Communication Award. This award consists of the development of educational materials that are part of a horticulture program for the general public or other master gardeners. This includes written, verbal, or social media, and examples are feature articles, news columns, radio shows, video production, or social media platform. So we have 2 nominees for the communications, and they were the Manatee County, the Garden Bench Expanded. And what they wanted to do was to broaden their communication of their newsletter and their plant clinic. And they conducted webinars via Zoom. They initiated bi-weekly email blast. So they got their whole newsletter mailing list and blasted that out to the public. And they had a huge increase in their digital customer contacts from that. So that's the Manatee side. The Walton County lecture series. The Walton County Master Gardeners have been doing a lecture series since 2011, first Wednesday of each month, September through May, starting at 10 a.m. They are either at the Extension Office in Defuniak Springs or in Grayton Beach. And they choose a topic, they serve light refreshments, and they have master gardeners there to help with plant clinic questions and give wonderful lectures. And the winner of the Communications Award this year is Manatee County for their Garden Bench Expanded, and giving the message to Manatee County residents and Master Gardener volunteers that we are still open for business during COVID lockdown. So it was a real unique way to show them pivoting and giving back to their community through COVID. So congratulations, Manatee County.
Good work, Manatee.
Pivot is the essential word these days. So 4-H youth, this is a category that highlights Master Gardeners programming efforts with 4-H. And the winner this year is Bay County, Panama City, 4-H Seed to Food, Plant to Plate. This again was a special COVID project. They held a virtual camp for youth aged 5 to 10. This project expanded actually to be national and internationally used. They had 340 participants and 941 sessions. Their website was viewed over 4,000 times, and 68% of the participants were new to 4-H. And they even had a youth exhibit gallery where the kids uploaded pictures of plants and their learning. So this is a really special project that they did in Bay County.
Excellent, Bay.
This is their beautiful certificate of plaque that will hang in their office too. All right, our next award is the Diversity and Inclusion. This award category recognizes projects that target a special public with respect to age, class, ethnicity, gender, physicality, mental ability, race, sexual orientation, spiritual practice, and other human differences. The major difference between this category and the others is the emphasis on targeting the public's demographics, psychographics, and how the information and programming is delivered. And this year, our winner for diversity and inclusion is Hernando County. And Hernando County worked with the Tumbleweed program with the ARC of the Nature Coast. And the Master Gardeners worked with people who had developmental and disabilities and intellectual disabilities, and as well as their family. So it wasn't just the person themselves, the family was also involved. They taught fruit growing, vegetable growing, plant identification, garden maintenance, and believe it or not, they served over 780 clients over the course of a year. So a huge impactful program down there in the Hernando, Brooksville area.
That's a really great program.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And so they have 40 vertical towers where they grow greens, strawberries, lettuces, and other vegetables. And this is a picture of them working in that garden. Okay, our next category is educational materials. Educational materials, this award consists of development of ed materials that are part of the horticulture program for the general public or other master gardeners. They can include a educational brochure, a fact sheet, training or workshop curriculum, educational website or content posted to a website, educational video, gardening curriculum, webinar, or presentation. So this year we have 3 nominees, and they are Pinellas County. Debbie Ford developed how-to videos on plant propagation, vegetable growing, lawn maintenance, and pruning. The Nature Coast Master Gardener Group did a project called Record of Change. It's a portable herbarium that teaches plant identification, plant specimen preparation. This resource was developed by Diane Wilson, Eugene Gibbons, Gabriel Thomas, Deborah Weiss, and Carol Lorene. And the final project was Polk County, Your Polk County Yard. And it was a landscaping and gardening journal, 86 pages, 12-month guide and written journal for Polk County residents. And this was done by Molly Greiner and Carol Leffler as the driving force behind them. And the winner is Polk County. This educational material, Your Polk County Yard, Landscaping and Gardening the Florida-Friendly Way. This guide and journal was very well received by the public, and this is also a winner at the national level. So congratulations, Polk County.
That's impressive.
It's really, they went up to our national meeting and won there also. So big win for them. Our next category is the newsletter. The newsletter award consists of the development of educational materials that are part of horticulture program for the general public or other master gardeners. This includes the ability to put this out to the public, whether internal or external, either print or on electronics. And so our nominees are Duval County Roots to Shoots for the Master Gardener volunteers, Manatee County Garden Bench for Manatee homeowners, and that's a bi-monthly, and Pinellas County The Dirt quarterly for Pinellas County Master Gardener volunteers. And that just happened. I just got my issue of The Dirt from Pinellas County today. So the winner is for newsletter, Duval County. Congratulations, Duval. This newsletter is put together by Candace Barone, Leslie Arundel, Katie Vogel, Stephanie Stevenson, Brenda Daly, Aline Clement, Beth Marlowe, Terry DeValier, Sarah Freeman, and they do such a great job. But one of the main things that they do is to survey their readers to show knowledge gain and knowledge sharing, which is such a really important part of that. And you can see it's just a beautiful, beautiful newsletter.
They have Terry DeValier. That explains a lot.
it's kind of a little bit of an ace in the hole, but she is volunteering. So
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You all, I have to go off script here just for a second. Emily, would you mind sending Mimi Vreeland her Zoom link, please, for this? Thank you. Okay. Next up is demonstration garden. And what we have is our nominees are Walton County air layering at Eden State Park. We have Monroe County Gato wildflower demonstration. We have Pinellas County Wallspring Park demonstration garden. And then we have Hernando County demonstration garden. So the demonstration gardens should go ahead and recognize the creation, maintenance, and education, the garden planning, funding, creation, and signage and usage of the garden are all should be pictures that are going to be judged in this category. Also landscape plans, photographs, newspaper clippings, newsletters, also to show the efforts that are made in this demonstration garden. So this is from the Panhandle all the way down to the Keys and on the west side of Florida. So our winners are Hernando County.
Ooh.
Hernando County's demonstration garden included the development of 5 different gardens: wildflower garden, winter interest garden, shade garden, partial shade garden, and sun garden. One of the great things that they did was they made YouTube videos in the garden. They went Facebook Live in these gardens. They had virtual plant clinics, and those digital efforts had over 1,000 views. And they had a wonderful publicity in the Hernando Sun and the Senior Voice with over 200,000 readers. And the transformation was just dramatic, from basically nothing to loads of native plants with lots of great signage. And they really got the biggest bang for the buck with this, using QR codes and linking it back to good sources where they got information on those native plants. So congratulations, Hernando County.
Very modern techniques. I like the sign too.
Especially during COVID, really using that garden as leverage.
Yep.
Okay. Our next award is the Team Award. And the Team Award recognizes master gardeners who foster cooperation, collaboration, and open communication to achieve a specific goal in the Master Gardener Horticulture Program or gardening community. And so we really look for a team environment that promotes communication, trust, cooperation, and respect for differences. Our nominees for the Team Award this year are Sumter County, Gardening in the Summer County Month by Month, Revision, Teamwork During the Pandemic, Broward County, Art in the Garden Team, Clay County, Member Care Team, Keeping Members Connected During the Pandemic, St. Lucie Nursery Restoration Team, and Pinellas County Folly Farm Nature Preserve Butterfly Garden Team. And our winner this year was Sumter County. Congratulations, Sumter. They did the gardening in Sumter County month-by-month calendar. They did a whole complete revision of this, and Nene Connor, Martha Buck, Teresa Ratty, Kathy Porter, and Andy Nelson all had different roles in the development of this. Some did graphics, some did content, some did layout, some did the distribution and the actual printing. So they met almost weekly by Zoom. They were always meeting, always communicating, and it was what, a few people together could really produce to get something done and done well. So congratulations, Sumter County.
Jim Davis's group's pulling the awards in.
Yeah. Yes, Jim gets his own awards as well. Okay. And our Florida Friendly Landscaping Award this year goes to Broward County for their Art in the Garden project, and beautiful signage from Lorna Bravo's team down there. And the Master Gardeners revitalized area of overgrown next to the Broward County Extension Office with native plants and wildflowers. They partnered with 4-H. They paired 4-H and Master Gardeners together to teach about Florida Friendly. And they developed a new concept called Art in the Garden, and they taught sustainability concepts using art and horticulture. So very inventive. And they really did a beautiful job in creating an outdoor teaching space by combining 4-H, Master Gardeners, and Florida Friendly and art. So it was a really innovative project. So congratulations, Broward County, for your Florida Friendly landscaping project. Okay, next up, there's their plaque. Next up, we have personal communications. And this is where Tom, do you know about this? I sneakily call or email a Master Gardener who's been nominated, and I disguise my voice and pretend to be someone else, and I ask them hard questions.
I did not know that.
Yes, it happens. And so I try to give tricky questions, or I have people that I know email them and then forward the response back to me. And our winner this year for personal communications is Manatee County, Karen Holleran. And there's her face. Wonderful Karen. Karen has logged on. Okay, we're going to snooze and remind me later. Karen has logged on over 3,600 hours in the phone clinic. She's excellent responding to emails, especially during the pandemic. During the pandemic, she was basically on call every day, and she answered over 100 emails per month with her response from the plant clinic with high accuracy. She is extremely thorough in her responses and gives excellent customer service. This is the kind of Master Gardener we want answering our phone and representing IFAS out in the county. So congratulations, Karen. We are thrilled for you. Great job. You did a great job with your questions. And this will hang in the office. And if she wants to take it home, she's welcome to do that too. But we would prefer if it hangs in the office, Karen. All right. So this is one of the harder ones to judge every year, the Outstanding Master Gardener Volunteer. We are looking for people who go above and beyond, who are that extension agent's go-to person, who put the Master Gardener volunteering probably above other things in their lives that might be more important, but Master Gardening is definitely their high top importance. And our winner this year is Bay County, Kim Teka. Kim, I know you're out there, so congratulations. And there she is. And yay, she is the president of the Bay County Master Gardener Volunteers. She was the transition leader for Better Impact over the last year. She's the editor for the Master Gardener Handbook. She develops educational materials. She propagates loads of plants. She is known for her leadership, organization, communication, and teamwork. And one of the things about Kim is that she has an extremely positive attitude, and that is very infectious for the rest of the organization. And one of the things that they do at meetings is that they share good news. So they want to share positivity and good news. So Kim, thank you so much for all you do for the Master Gardener program in Bay County. And I know that your effect is contagious and rubbing off on the rest of us across the state. So thank you so much. I hope you all are applauding. Okay, good. And this, Kim, we would appreciate if you kept in the office, but you can also take it home if you would like to at some point. All the flowers of the tomorrows are in the seeds of today. That's our deep thought for this evening. So we are going to move on to the Legacy Award. And I am hoping that Mimi is with us. Emily, can you give me a thumbs up if Mimi made it in? You're muted if you're not hearing me.
She says,
Yay. Yay. Okay, great. Okay, so the Master Gardener Volunteer Legacy Award was started about 3 years ago. we had an endowed fund that got set up by a generous donor. And then when we did the 40-year anniversary, we all did a 40 for 40. And we donated $40 to the Master Gardener Legacy Fund. And we got our funds up so big that we were able to actually give 2 $1,500 awards for the grant. And what we want to do is to help Master Gardeners in their county programs continue to give educational projects or to create new educational projects in their support. And so last year, our winners were Lake County and Flagler County. And I've been asked Lake County and Flagler County to present on what the current status of their use of the awards are. And I'm going to click. Oh, I'm going to go back. Hold on. And this first one is, I'm going to click on it. I think it's going to play. Hold on. Okay, Wendy, good job. Keep going. All right, Wendy's going to get it right because Jamie Doherty has a doctor's appointment that she couldn't miss tonight, so she taped her version for us.
So Wendy, we can't hear that.
Okay.
So I think
So, whoops. Ooh, hold on. Okay.
I think if you
Did I mess up?
unshare,
Okay.
reshare, and
Unshare.
before you hit share, when you have to click share computer audio.
Okay.
So you
Hold
have to
on. So I'm going to go new share. New share.
Unshare first.
Okay. Stop share.
Okay. Now
And-
reshare the same thing. But before you
okay.
click the share button, there's going to be a little checkbox at the bottom that says share computer audio.
I had lost all of it, Emily. Hold on. Okay, share screen.
So a little checkbox that says share computer audio.
Share. I see share sound. Yes.
Yes, that's
Share.
it.
And nobody's looking. If you're looking, oh, you already know. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, I took the drama out of it. I won't do that again. Is it doing it?
It's doing something. Okay, it's giving us doing something weird, Wendy.
Okay, I'm gonna, don't save. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for being pleasant and giving me a break. Dr. Obriza, I do this all the time. I usually don't mess up like this.
Yeah, it happens.
Emily's here to help me.
You may just have to talk them through
That's okay.
presentation, that one video,
Okay.
rather than playing it.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Okay, so reshare, uncheck the share computer audio. Thank you, everyone, for holding on during our technology difficulties.
For those of you all right, am I sharing?
Yes, go ahead and do the display settings and switch it.
Now, we good?
There you go. You're good.
Okay, thank you all. Legacy.
Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Doherty. I'm the residential
Jamie
horticulture
Daughtry
agent and
and
master
the
garden
Lake County
coordinator.
Master
It's playing,
Gardeners.
Wendy.
Oh, is it?
The Lake County Master Gardener volunteers were granted a $1,500 Legacy Award in 2021 for our new apiary. Now, the apiary took several years to come to fruition, and it is a partnership between Lake County Beekeepers Association, the Lake County Master Gardener Volunteer Program, and Lake County. So the new apiary was finally welcomed in late 2020. just in time to apply for the new Legacy Award. We used this award to purchase supplies to allow our apiary to not only thrive, but also to create cash flow so that we could then further support the apiary. So things that we purchased included 1 pound bottles for the honey to be bottled and sold at our plant sales, a demonstration hive for educational purposes, an electronic extractor to extract the honey safely from the hives, an educational poster to present alongside the demonstration hive, and an uncapping tank, which is used in the extraction process. We do still have a little bit of funds left that we're going to use on some chemicals that are needed to keep the bees healthy. In early 2021, we actually managed to harvest 40 pounds of honey. Now, the Lake County Beekeepers Association was kind enough to allow us to keep all of the honey rather than splitting it like was originally planned. This honey is actually going to be available at our 2021 fall plant sale that is occurring on October 23rd. So it's this Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Feel free to come by. Money from the sale goes directly towards maintaining and caring for the bees in the apiary and also Discovery Garden maintenance.
Well, the Lake County Legacy Award Bee Apiary is a really excellent project, and I thank Jamie Dordry and Giles Pagic Wilkes for all their hard work. So it's a really neat project. Okay, our next Legacy winner
We did go through a naming contest.
is the Seed of Life Garden, and Mimi Vreeland is on. And Mimi, would you like to tell us about this garden, please?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yay! Hi there.
Hi, thanks for being here.
And hopefully you can't see me. I probably look like death warmed over because I just raced back from Marion County for a training I was co-teaching. So it's great to not have me on screen, but instead to have this lovely Legacy Award that we received way back when I was first hired and had the opportunity in Flagler County to look over the demonstration garden site with the master gardeners. We realized that there was an area with the help of the 4-H agent, Alicia Hutchinson at the time, there was an area that was unused, and we felt that it was not really Florida friendly to have just an area being watered without any function. And it's an area, if you can see, over here to the upper left is our Flagler County 4-H barn. I'm using the cursor. And this whole area between the herb garden that we have that was existing and the 4-H barn was this unused area. And there was originally an idea of having an arboretum here, but because of the poor drainage that is pretty typical on site, we lost all of our trees, and they were taken down to prepare for what the 4-H team and the master gardener volunteers and the ag agent, Wendy Mussolini at the time, and I put our heads together to think up what would be a good use. And so with the master gardener's help, we came up with the idea of creating a children's garden that was accessible so that it could be used in the future, not only for an extension of the 4-H program, but other youth programs for the horticulture department we have here. And then even family nutrition would be able to chime in once in a while. The children's garden would be a complete edible garden. And when we were thinking this up, of course, similar to what Jamie Lynn was saying, is that this was right before we were offered the opportunity to apply for the Legacy Award, which we did. And what we wanted to say in our statement was that, you know, while the demonstration gardens here have been good examples of how to grow ornamentals and edibles using Florida-friendly landscaping practices, none are specifically designed for youth, and especially for children with special needs or from underserved areas of Flagler County. So because of this, this undeveloped area between the 4-H barn and the urban edible demonstration gardens was designated specifically for this purpose. And we fortunately, with the help of other master gardener volunteers, to put good wording together with that really showed the intention of what we wanted to do back there. We were awarded $1,500, and it was really exciting to hear about that because we could start. And even though we were looking at a budget that was closer to about $6,000, that would include all the materials, including the accessible paving, the vertical systems, and the raised beds, as well as the plant materials, we really needed to start focusing on the layout plan and the electrical and irrigation system, low volume irrigation system that would be required. Luckily, after we won the award, a wonderful irrigation contractor donated their labor and materials to provide us with the irrigation. So the area now is prepped and ready to go. And now all we need is to have some grading done, because the second thing that was donated was from Advent Health. They had a community garden in Volusia County that had gone defunct. They weren't able to get the funding to complete it. And they had a bunch of NDS paving left over. And I don't know if you know, up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can see these are the rolls that we managed to retrieve after communicating with Advent Health. They were nice enough to offer it. These two rolls, and it doesn't look like it, but 150 linear feet, 4 feet wide, 2 rolls each are valued at $2,500. So we saved ourselves $5,000 by going out there with a U-Haul last Friday to pick it up so we can continue. And that would be the next step. And just to go into the process of designing and then starting the programming here, can you see my cursor?
No, but tell me where you want me to put it.
Okay, so well, I'm just going to focus on the design itself and the programming. So the idea is to be able to provide accessible ways to get up close. So the top 4 beds are part of a crop timeline pathway, just to be able to work in alignment and collaborate with the Agricultural Museum here, that would be able to provide us with information about crops originally from the 1700s, 1800s. And as you can see, as we get closer and closer, that they get smaller and smaller, because the options are fewer and fewer of specialty crops, but they are there, including blueberries and artichokes, all the way through the 2000s. So this will give kids an opportunity to see the history of agriculture and be able to farm those edibles that are still being used today, as well as some of the new specialty crops. And at the very end of the pathway is an accessible area for vertical gardening, so that people in wheelchairs can also have access at a level all the way up to their arm's reach, to be able to grow crops vertically. And then down below is a central herb garden and fruit tree garden, which is the official children's edible garden area, where cover crops underneath fruit trees would be grown, and herbs and cooking herbs. And then an example to the left of the garden would be espaliers, to show ways to save space and time, either at home or in a commercial agriculture situation, to be able to grow fruit trees and other fruiting vines and shrubs in a way that is easily pruned and maintained, and provide air and light, like as is done traditionally in a lot of European countries, in vineyards and such, to be able to grow things like muscadines and other edible plants that could be used for harvest. And then finally to the left is a special bed that is, with more acidic compost, to be able to grow blueberries, and as an example for how to grow them properly. So these are all accessible ways to teach kids about how they can grow either ornamentally or edibly for the future, especially if there is a possibility for career development, working with the Road to Success with some of the other school programs that are in the area. So we're really excited about seeing this move forward. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do too much during COVID, but now that we have all the materials in place, we can move forward, and we're excited.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mimi. What a beautiful project that you all have going on, and you've done so much with it. So congratulations on that. So thank you. And I appreciate you driving back from Marion County and being able to make it for this. So thank you so much. And we'll
Thank
talk
you,
with you soon.
everybody.
Alrighty. Okay, so for this year, the Legacy Award applicants were Duval County, interpretive signage for the Crystal Park Native Plants and Pollinator Trail. Franklin County, Go Where Master Gardener Volunteer Clientele Gather. Hernando County, Demonstration Garden Education Outreach Accessibility Expansion. Manatee County, Outdoor Classroom at the Manatee Extension Office. Lee County, IMAG History and Science Center Demonstration Garden Development. Sumter County, QR codes and gardening education through technology. Sarasota County, Pollinator Garden Signage. And the winners of the Legacy Award for 2021 are Franklin County for $1,500, Go Where the Master Gardener Volunteer Clientele Gather. Franklin County, for those of you who don't know, it's Apalachicola. It's a rural county, and they have to find their clientele, and what they want to do is be able to bring their lecture series to them with PowerPoint presentations. So they need a PowerPoint projector as well as laptop and other technology. So I'm very excited for them. And then our other winner is Manatee County for $1,500, outdoor classroom at the Manatee Extension Office. So they have beautiful gardens there, but now they can put this money to develop an outdoor classroom. And just heads up, Franklin County and Manatee County, next year you will have to have your own presentation slides of what you have accomplished with the dollars. So Dr. Obriza, what do you think about that?
I think they don't call Franklin County the Forgotten Coast for nothing. I've been there, and it's a lovely place, but it's just a little hard to get to. So anything they do there is a high level of accomplishment.
Absolutely. And I know Manatee County will make good use of those funds. So congratulations, winners. And I encourage the other applicants to apply again next year, because that money goes out every year. And for those of you who are interested in donating to the Legacy Fund to get these dollars up higher, we would love for you to contact me and Catherine Davies at our foundation office, and we can get some more funds going. All right. We have special recognition. We always include this in our presentation. This year, our Master Gardener Volunteer Distinguished Professor Award was awarded to Jennifer Pelham back in September. Dr. Obriza was able to present her with her award, and she is the CED in Martin County. She is known for her innovative programming, her superior leadership, and her extension expertise. Probably no other extension agent is as expert in extension as she is, and it shows. So congratulations, Martin County and Jennifer Pelham, for bringing home the Master Gardener Volunteer Distinguished Professor Award to Martin County. So congratulations there. And she got a little prize too, didn't she, Dr. Obriza?
Yeah, and 4 figures, a few $1,000s. She also dresses up like an avocado now and then.
She does. Good to know. Congratulations, Jennifer. All right, now we're going into the service awards. We are going to go by district. I read left to right, so we will be starting in the Northwest District. So starting with our different awards, 10-year award is simplified by our hibiscus, beauty and freshness. 15 years is marked by the live oak for strength and resilience. The 20-year award is the lily, which is devotion. And 25 years is the honeybee, which is known for its industriousness. The 30-year is the passion flower, because anyone who's been around for 30 years is highly passionate. 35 is the rose, which is a symbol of purity. And 40 years is the orchid, known for its dedication and devotion as well. So we are going to jump into A quote, "Gardens are not made by singing, 'Oh, how beautiful,' and sitting in the shade," said Rudyard Kipling, which is true. So we recognize John Green for 10 years in Bay County, C.C. Strickland for 15 years, Johnny Smallman for 15 years, and Ina Crawford for 20 years with the Master Gardener Program. Congratulations. In Escambia County, we recognize Bob McLaughlin and Olivia Hamilton for 10 years, and Marjorie Johnnychek for 15 years. In Leon County, I will read all their names. Congratulations up there in Tallahassee to Kathy Alfano, Patricia Giesel, Carol Hayes, Mary Jackson, Linda Nicholson, Marcel Pretorius, Linda Spade, Betty Sullivan, Brennis Verheen, Glenda Verheen, Kathy Wilkinson for 10 years. Also Sarah Brunger, Kay Cleary, Emily Jennings for 15 years, Joan Peloso 15, Judith Strickland 15, and Fred Vroom 15 years. Congratulations, Leon County. In Okaloosa County, we have a lot of 15 years celebrations. Bob Bear, Matt Donovan, Dorothy Green, Linda Kulal, Jim Martin, and Ann Phillips. And in Okaloosa County this year, we celebrate Rick Hastings for 25 years. And there we can see Dr. Obriza, he still looks the same, congratulating Rick at an earlier organizational meeting. In Walton County, we recognize Lyndia Spears for 10 years. In Santa Rosa County, we recognize Alan Schuman for 15 years over there in Milton, and Susan Endry, Margaret Fraser, Noreen Gideon. The lilies go to them for 20 years. Congratulations. Also in Santa Rosa County, we celebrate Jean Blage with 25 years. Congratulations, Jean. Thank you for hanging in there with us for so long. You're an awesome volunteer. So the love of gardening is a seed once sown that never dies, and I think you all will agree. So we're moving to the Northeast District. Our 10-year awards go to Kathy Fanning, Linda Green, Karen Hilliard, Gail Kempner, and Nikki Whitaker. And I know all these ladies personally, and they're wonderful volunteers and actually really good friends. Baker County, we recognize Karen Thomas for her 10 years. Congratulations, Karen. And Citrus County, we recognize Sandra Hume, Kathy Miller, and Kathy Mayle for 10 years. And also in Citrus County, we recognize this year Jim Bruno for 30 years. And I know you probably have heard me say this before, but Jim Bruno was at my wedding probably more than 30 years ago, about this time, and I dug up my wedding album and there is Mr. Jim. So congratulations, Jim Bruno. I don't know if you're not with us tonight, but thank you so much for all that you've done for us over the last 30 years. Congratulations. In Clay County, we recognize Cindy Fuss, Audrey Hanks, Sally McGraw, and Maureen Post for 10 years. And Heather McClanahan, 15, and Katie Richardson, 15 years. Congratulations. And also in Clay County, Barbara Beryl for 20 years, and Cotton Morlock for 25 years. And we have a picture of Cotton teaching a tool class, which is one of his specialties. He's a lot of fun. But occasionally you will run into Cotton Morlock playing harmonica in a Smoky Blues Club, and I happen to have a photo of him there. I may or may not have taken that photo myself. In Columbia County, we recognize Jim Field for 10 years, and Doris Johnson, Jerry Murphy, and Gail Rogers for 15 years. Wonderful volunteers. And then we also recognize Miss Martha Ann Ronsonette for 20 years. Martha, I remember when you were a new Master Gardener, and congratulations to you. In Duval County, we recognize Victoria Freeman, Chrissy Griffiths, Julie Humphreys, Tony Martin, Brenda Miller, Mike Robinson, and Diane Seymour for 10 years. Aline Clement, Dominic Colinero, Cheryl Dewberry, Mary Forrester, James Longenbach, Mary Longenbach, Kathy Null, Ruth O'Leary, Leah Pinter, and Patricia Vale for 15 years. Congratulations. And we have 20 years in Duval for Leslie Arundel, Barbara Barsh, Lassie Lee, Laura O'Shields, Phyllis Stafford, Harriet Upton, Katie Vogel, 20 years. Congratulations. And here's some impressive numbers from Duval. Earl Keller is celebrating his 30 years. Congratulations, Earl. And Pat Watson is celebrating 35 years. Congratulations, Pat. I'm very excited that you'll be getting your rose pin and a beautiful crystal bowl to commemorate your 35 years with us. And there she is with Terry, and I'm hiding in the back. For the Nature Coast, we recognize Linda Digg Headley for 10 years. Congratulations, Linda. I think you were probably in one of the very first classes in Nature Coast. Congratulations. And in St. Johns County, we've got Karen Madalina for 10 years, Jane Palmer, 10 years, Kat Rogers, 10 years, and Linda Eidson, 15 years, and Barbara Purple for 15 years. Congratulations. And Linda Avery is celebrating 20 years with the Florida Master Gardener Volunteer Program. Congratulations, Linda. In Suwannee County, we have Dennis O'Toole putting in 10 years and Betsy Martin, 15 years. Betsy, I remember when you were brand new, so congratulations. And in Taylor County, led by Lisa Strange, we have a number of 10-year recipients: Carol Robinson, Mary Sims, Lee Bro, Tom Bro, Nancy Dowling, and Charles Sadler, 10 years. Congratulations, Taylor County. And moving on to our next district with the quote, "There are no happier folks than plant lovers, and none more generous than those who garden." That's an old quote, and it's absolutely true. So beginning in the Central District, 10 years go to John Beatty, Sharon Beatty, Diana Hall, and Kathy Schmitz. And in Marion County, we have a long list: Joan Foran, 10 years, Donna Rosier, 10 years. And for 15 years, Dennis Appleby, Jenny Blanton, Carolyn Cacavalli, Michelle Mahood, Helen Ogren, and Anna Williams, 15 years. Congratulations. And in Marion County, Carol Ann Baldwin is receiving her 25-year pin and crystal vase this year. And Julie Swick, Don Robson, Liz Robson, and Claire Wilder, 30 years, and they will get their commemorative 30-year clock from the Master Gardener Program. Thank you all for your many, many years of service. We couldn't do it without you. In Orange County, we have 10 years, Jean Davis, Cindy Matzik, Ed Paulson, hi out there, Ed, Karen Schaefer, 10 years, and Carol Jesperson is celebrating her 15 years in Orange County. In Osceola County, Carla Bishop, Andrea Hand, Ed Kilroy, Claire Lowe, and Patricia Miller are celebrating their 10 years with the Master Gardener Program. Thank you all. And a special 40-year anniversary in Osceola County goes to Eleanor Forresty. Eleanor began the Master Gardener Program. She took the program as she was getting ready to become the extension agent who led the program in Osceola County in Kissimmee for many years. She retired with close to 40 years of, 43 years of service to the extension service. And she started her own environmental tour company after that. And right now, Eleanor is living in Live Oak, Florida, or Dowling Park, close to Live Oak, Florida. And she still supports Extension 110%. And I said to her recently in a ceremony we did for her that she is a true pioneer of the Master Gardener Volunteer Program. And we stand on the shoulders of the likes of her as we continue to achieve success in the Florida Master Gardener Volunteer Program. So many, many thanks to Eleanor Forresty for all she's done for all of us. All right, in Putnam County, which is over in Palatka, we recognize Selma Glenn, Ruthie Happer, Sarah Hetherington and Tom Zizzes for 10 years. And in Lake County, we recognize Bob Brashers and Ann Keller for 10 years and Helen Reagan for 20 years. And Helen, I did get your email today, so I will respond to you. In Seminole County, we recognize Jean Scarborough for 15 years and Rudy White for 20 years. Thank you both. In Sumter County, Ann Shepard is celebrating her 15 years. Thank you, Ann. And in Volusia County, we have Mike Holloman, Wendy McAllister, Wendy McDowell, James Norman, John Patrick, and Laura Rocco celebrating 10 years. Linda Anderson, Margaret Gillen, Pat LeClaire, Myrna Moore, 15 years. Congratulations, team. Penny Bragg and Evelyn Shapiro for 20 years. Big congratulations to Volusia County. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. And I know that's true. You have to have faith in order to plant a garden, and you have to believe in tomorrow. So next up, we go to the Southwest, where in Collier County, we are recognizing George Ann Bardenhire for 10 years, Christopher Gilbert for 10 years, and Jean Oldham for 10 years, and Diane Brithop for 15 years. Congratulations, Collier. And in Charlotte County, we have Brenda Kramer for 10 years and Bob Pryor, my friend, hi Bob, 10 years. Sherilyn Braun, Dawn Hannock, Margie Kang, Nancy Praffy, Jamie Reynolds, and Dolly Tomalinis. Dolly Tomalinis has 20 years, and Cheryl, Dawn, Margie, Nancy, and Jamie have 15 years. Much congratulations. In Hillsborough County, Liz Vanderlaag, 10 years, Adrian Denisco, 15 years, Carol Fanella, 15 years, Marilyn Lewis, 15 years, Virginia Overstreet, 15 years, and Sally Thompson, 15 years. Congratulations, Hillsborough. And we have some special recognized folks for Hillsborough. Laura Fellows is celebrating her 25 years. Here she is planting in the yard with her special Crocs on. And Polly Ryan, congratulations, Polly, is also celebrating her 30 years in Hillsborough County. Huge congratulations and thanks to both of you ladies. In Lee County, Babu Matthew, Karen Miller, and Pat Rooney are celebrating their 10-year anniversary with us. Thank you. In Lee County, we are also celebrating Kim Cooprider, 30 years with the Master Gardener Volunteer Program. Kim, thank you so much for all that you do and hanging in there with us in Lee County and Fort Myers for all these years. In Manatee County, Deborah Black is celebrating her 10 years. Jean Berry, Catherine Day, and Karen Holleran, who we heard from earlier, is celebrating 20 years with the program. Pasco County, 10 years, has Denise Black, Steve Cox, Bob O'Brien, and Carla O'Brien. Amber Bazone is celebrating 15 years, and Leonard Daskowitz, 20 years, and Peggy Gretchen, 20 years. Congratulations, Pasco. And in Pinellas County, Gail Cooper is celebrating 10 years, Katarina Stillwagon, 10 years, and Gary Trangus is celebrating 10 years. And 15 years are going out to Marion Sorello, Joanne Cleach, Cheryl Korshek, Bessie Morse, Vicki Jackson, and Natalie Oliver is celebrating her 20 years with the Pinellas County Master Gardener Program. Congratulations, Natalie. Polk County, we have Ginger Hansel, 10 years, Jack Lay, 10 years, and Marion McCarty, 10 years. And Patricia Chirandolo, 15 years, and Susan Wyatt, 15 years. Thank you, Polk County. In Sarasota County, Melinda Morgan and Janice Zoller are celebrating 10 years. Linda Chilakis, 15 years. Karen Jackson, 15 years. Luann Roten, 15 years. Liette Robital, 15 years. And Alan Royal, 15 years. Congratulations in Sarasota. And in Sarasota, we also are celebrating Gerald Hill and Valerie Olinger for 20 years. And the 25 years goes to Alyssa Mirabelli, Carol Monine, and Terry Redman. Thank you so much for your 25 years of service in Sarasota County. We might think we are nurturing our garden, but of course it's our garden that is really nurturing us. And that is true. In Brevard County on the south, 10 years for Catherine Broughton, Diane Darr, Shakiko Gatz, Patricia Kern, and Joyce Schofield, and 15 years for Marion Anderson. Congratulations, Brevard. Also in Brevard, we have Sandra Betts receiving her 20 years, and Elizabeth Bishop and Jane Mandeville, 25 years. Congratulations. And in Broward County, 10 years go to Kaylee Kildare, 10 years, Effie Lewis, Pamela Roberts, and Manuel Ungaro, 10 years. And Jean Kane, Pat Rossi, Brendan Doyle, Art Constantino, and Vincent Rossi are all celebrating their 15 years with Broward County. Congratulations down in Fort Lauderdale. And in Fort Lauderdale, we have someone who is getting a big award, Susan Berry, 25 years with the Broward County Extension Office. So my hat's off to you, Susan. Great job and wonderful volunteering. She's a great volunteer. Thank you. And in Highlands County, we celebrate Terry Fromhartz for 10 years and Bob Fromhartz for 10 years. Congratulations. And Mr. Don Ingram is getting his 15 years. Thank you, Don, for all you do in Highlands County. Great volunteers. In Martin County, Brenda Lines and Jonna Warner are celebrating their 15 years. Congratulations. And in Miami-Dade County, Angela Kim and Kirk Kloss, Kathy Peel and Paula Villamore are celebrating their 10 years. And also in Miami-Dade County, we have Carl Bauer celebrating 25 years. Great job, Carl. He works a lot at Fairchild Tropical Garden, and he eats crabs from time to time. But down in South Florida, they have to say what kind of crabs. So those are blue crabs and not stone crabs, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Congratulations, Carl. And in Monroe County, we have Hazel Hans, Helen Koenig, and Harriet Lindsay celebrating 10 years. Congratulations, Monroe down in the Keys. And in Palm Beach County, David Cluckey, Deborah Crawford, Anthony Dede, Gail Lamb, Fatima Najame, and Maria Miranda are celebrating 10 years. And in Palm Beach, Tony Dagger is celebrating 20. And in Palm Beach County, we have 4 Master Gardeners celebrating 25 years, Larry Grosser, Terry Jabor, Dick Passe, and Linda Spillane. Congratulations on your 25 years. And in St. Lucie County, Blanca Borges and Lynn Marino are celebrating their 10 years, and Casey Labuha is celebrating 25 years. And in St. Lucie County, we have Carol Williams celebrating her 25 years with us. Congratulations, Carol, and great job in St. Lucie County. Oh my goodness. I have to thank all of you on your anniversary years, your 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40 years of service to the Master Gardener Volunteer Program. We literally could not do it without you. We thank you for sticking with us, even during the crazy times of COVID. And we hope that you get as much out of the Master Gardener Program as you give back to us, because we really, really enjoy having you around and working and volunteering by your side. So thank you so much. Our next slides are the in memory slides, they are a little bit long this year, and so I'm going to let you all read to yourselves if that's okay. We'll start with the Northwest District, in memory of the people that we lost over the last year. And in the Northeast District, in memory of those that we have lost and that have passed on in the last year. And in the Central District, in memory of those who have passed in the last year. And in the Southwest District. And in the South District. And I know none of you were counting, but there were 64 names that were on those slides. And those were 64 wonderful volunteers that made the world a better place. And it's with sadness that we read their names, but it's also with joy that we know that they made a difference in the world with what they did, and hopefully with what they did with us as well. So thank you all. I would like to end with our recipe for your garden, that we plant 3 rows of peace, peace of mind, peace of heart, and peace of soul. That we plant 3 rows of squash, squash indifference, squash selfishness, and squash hate. And we plant 3 rows of lettuce. Let us be kind. Let us love one another. Let us grow our own food. And water freely with patience, cultivate with love. There's so much fruit in your garden that we know that we have enough to share. So thank you all tonight for your patience and for your presence and for your attention. And I want to thank you and congratulate all the winners and all the nominees. I failed to say earlier that the judging was very tough, and there was a lot of times, I don't judge, I put it out to judges, but a lot of times there were fractions of points. People have won an award tonight by a half a point. So please brush off those nominations and those applications and resubmit for next time because all of your projects are truly excellent. And I am so proud of all the work that we are able to accomplish in the state of Florida. And I'm just so proud of everything that you do out there. So I am looking forward to a good conference tomorrow. And I see that Dr. Obriza has returned inside. Was it the mosquitoes?
It's getting a little dark.
Okay, all right. Dr. Obriza, thank you so much for being with us tonight and hanging with us and sharing your backyard with us as well.
Thanks for having me. And one more thanks to all of your Master Gardener volunteers for all you do for Life's Extension. It's very, very important, and we really love it.
Great, good. All right, you all, we're going to sign off tonight. Thank you, and we will see you tomorrow. Your Teams room opens at 9:30. Try to log in a little bit right at 9:30, and the program will start at 10 with April Lee. So thank you all, and good night.